Hi everyone! Oh, I'm so excited for this video. I get to do something fun. Well, not that the other videos weren't fun, but wait, hold on. Everyone say hello to my little rabbit over here. What's his name? Say hello to Overaction Rabbit. He's gonna be accompanying me in this video today. So I'm super excited because I'm gonna be talking about anime. Finally, I've never talked about anime on my channel before. To be honest, I don't really know why. I just think I've never really had anything to say about it. I've just been watching it silently. But today, I want to kind of share with you guys anime that I think you should be watching. I don't care if you love anime. I don't care if you hate anime. These are some shows that are some good shows that you need to watch. If you're about that life, all of them are in dubbed. All of them are in English dubbed, these shows I'm going to list you. Between you and I love English dub. There, I said it. I love English dub. I am a dub bitch. I am ooh, I know people are gonna come for me, but I can't do it with the subtitles these days. Like, don't get me wrong. I used to really, I'm not against subtitles at all. Many shows I've watched had subtitles in it. Like, I'm not against it at all. But you cannot sit there and lie to me and say that it's just easier to watch dubbed anime because you don't always have to be looking at the screen. I don't know Japanese. So for me to understand what people are saying, I have to be looking at the screen all the time, which is fine, but that would require me to be looking at the screen all the time. Sometimes I need to be cooking something. Sometimes I need to be doing something else. I can't so what's gonna happen is that I have to pause whatever anime I'm watching, then go to YouTube to find something to beat my background noise until I finish, so then come back to the show so I can continue watching it. No, I don't wanna do that. I like to watch dub because it's simple, because it's easy, and and I'm gonna be even more honest. I don't have high standards for dubs, to be honest. As long as it's not grating in my ear, annoying me, I don't mind dub at all. You can get off your high horse, okay? Dubbed is okay. By the way, if you love anime, you probably know some of these shows already, because they're not they're not secret shows, I guess, but I don't know. So without further ado, first one I want to say you should watch Erased. Erased is a great show you should be watching. So let me explain to you what Erased is. Erased, the premise of Erased, a guy has powers. Well, it's not really a power. It's he's been given this ability from whatever. He just has this power. Before a tragic event happens, he goes back in time and he is trying to stop whatever event is about to unfold. He doesn't know what's gonna happen, but he knows that something is going to happen and he has to stop it. Long story short, probably end of the first or second episode or whatever, something happens and then he ends up going back in time, right? He goes back in time because this thing that happened in the present time is so huge. This thing that happened in the present time is a result of something that happened way back when he was a child. His ability takes him all the way back, so he's kind of reliving his childhood and trying to avoid the tragic thing that happens in the present time, if that makes any sense. But it's really, really good. Suspenseful, the characters are good, you kind of fall in love with them a bit. Yeah, it's just a good anime, man. It's just a good anime. I think you should watch it. This one in particular, I believe it's about 24 episodes. It's just one season and it is dubbed, of course. So yeah, out of 10 stars, I give that show 8.5, 9. It's really good. Next show I want to recommend, Psycho Pass. Ooh, Psycho Pass. This show is so good. It's been on my list for so long and I started watching it. I watched the first episode maybe well over a year ago, and it was just kind of slow to me. It dragged a little bit, but I thought about that show again and I'm actually it was a pretty cool concept, so I just went back, but I jumped straight to episode 2 and binge watched the entire show in a day, and then watched season 2 and then season 3 also very quickly, back to back together. A really good show. So the premise of Psycho Pass, super interesting. It's a society where the government system is a computer. It's called a civil system. So how it works is that everyone has what's called a crime coefficient. and which is basically their potential to commit a crime or to do something dangerous. In addition to that, there are things like there are stats about them that kind of show you like their aptitudes for certain jobs or whatever, and all of this stuff is controlled by like this one system by the government. And this entire society of Japan is kind of ruled by this system, but it's not like a dark, super scary thing at all or anything like that. It's just people have accepted that system. It's like, it's fine. Like, that's just how they do things there. But because of their over-reliance on the system and their over-reliance on basically a bunch of computers being their kind of judge, jury, and executioner on how criminals are being treated and how people are able to live their lives and live their jobs and do their jobs, it creates this over-dependent system on it. Well, I should say the antagonists of the show, their goals are to kind of dismantle that system in their own different ways. So the premise of the show basically are these agents, these people who try to protect that system. There are protagonists, and then there are people who try to dismantle the system for whatever personal reason, for whatever reason they think. Like, either the system isn't just, it's not as fair as everyone thinks it is, etc., etc., etc. I'm not doing justice to these shows at all, my explanations of it, but it's really good. I think you should watch it. The first season is about 24 episodes. The second season is about, I want to say 12 episodes, and the third season is maybe about 8 episodes. The third season is quite different from the first 2 seasons, but in a good way. So I definitely recommend you watch it. That show is really, really good. I give that show a 9 as well. It's like suspense, like mystery, thriller, very, very good. Totally recommend if you're into that kind of stuff. My camera's gonna overheat any minute now. Next show I want to recommend, The Promised Land. The Promised Land. Good show as well. 2 seasons, really great show. Premise of the show is there is an orphanage, and in this orphanage we have a bunch of kids. These kids are sort of groomed and raised to be sacrifices for some kind of demons or whatever. It's not like a supernatural anime. Don't get it wrong. Like it's like some weird monster demon type thing, but it's not like a supernatural sci-fi type of anime at all. That's the only sci-fi supernatural part of it. Like, whatever creatures are consuming these kids. And the smartest kids in the orphanage, they catch wind of it, and they kind of realize what's going on. So then they start hashing these schemes to try to get all these orphans to escape and get them to safety. Really good show. Kind of gets you in the feels as well. Very kind of, I don't know, it's a really good show. I totally recommend you watch it. Just trust me. I give that show, Promised Neverland, I'll give it like an 8.5. It's a good show, very good show. Next show, Attack on Titan. I don't know if I have to say much about Attack on Titan because, like, if you haven't watched Attack on Titan yet, you need, something's wrong with you, my guy. Something's wrong with you, bro. Like, Attack on Titan is the most, what's the word? What's the word for something is very hyped, but it's not overrated? It's like, it's very hyped, and it should be that hyped because it's that good. Attack on Titan is that bitch. Attack on Titan is that show. When I first heard of Attack on Titan, so many people were talking about it. People who didn't even watch anime like that. And I was like, it probably is some like regular cookie cutter shit like fucking My Hero Academia, which I hate that show. But, so I thought that's what Attack on Titan was. But then I finally watched it. Oh my God. Bro. If you watch no other show on this list, watch Attack on Titan. That show is fucking good. We're on the final season now, and each season has been about maybe 12 to 24 episodes-ish. I believe it varies, but if you watch no other show that I'm recommending you, watch Attack on Titan. That show is really, really, like, legitimately a very, very, very good show. It's gruesome AF sometimes, but the plot and the characters, like, it's an excellent show. I give it like maybe top 3 of any, like, I think anyone will say that's the top 3. Maybe like, I'll give that show maybe like a 9.8. Like, it's a really, really excellent show. You should totally watch it. A short premise of it is basically, Titans are like these huge, like colossal sized creatures, and they kill people. And this small little town or city, they sort of have like this army that's built up to fight against them, but like, I'm telling you, when the Titans come on the scene, it's game over, bro. Like, the Titans be eviscerating people. Like, they be eviscerating people. It's like, it's... Talk about fighting an uphill battle, bro. But basically, the premise of it is basically like this group of people, like this town, this city, they're trying to find a way to fight off against these Titans because these Titans be fucking them up, bro. Fucking them up. So we get to, like, over the course of the show, we get to learn the history of the Titans. We get to, like, see how, like, the characters grow and, like, how the Titans, like, how, like, living in this constant state of fear has affected them a lot. It's kind of a dramatic show, but, like, it's a very, very good show. Like, I can't say enough good things about it. It's a great show. I totally recommend. Levi, boss. Next show I want to recommend, Jormungand. Ooh, Jormungand is such a good show. Ooh, I think this show is underrated. Not many people talk about this show. It's a good show. It's on Hulu too. Some of these shows are on Hulu actually. But Jormungand premise is really kind of crazy. It's basically like this child soldier. He's a child soldier, but like as children soldiers are, like they're not child soldiers because they want to be, but because of situational circumstances or whatever, or like kidnapping, that kind of stuff. So basically he's a child soldier. He's a very good soldier. He's good. He's tough. And he gets recruited by this arms dealer, like this pretty white lady with blonde hair, like young, like she's and she's quite young. She's quite young. She's maybe my age, if not a little younger, like maybe late, like early 20s, like 19, 18, like she's quite young, but her demeanor in the show and like her attitude in the show and the way she carries herself, she is carried like a very like mature lady. But I mean, she shows her immaturity sometimes, but like she's a boss fucking bitch, that girl. Like her name is Kokkoku. Like she's really cool, that girl. I love her a lot, and I like the child soldier's okay, but she carries the show. Not to say that the other characters in the show don't carry it, because Coco and she has like an entire guard of like people, like her bodyguards, and they're fucking dope as hell. Like they're dope as hell. So all the characters in the show I like a lot. Like the premise is a really cool premise. Basically what's happening is that the child soldier is with Coco and her bodyguards. They basically travel around. They're selling weapons to different like groups and organizations. But meanwhile, Coco has like a goal. I don't want to spoil it, but like you're kind of seeing like her inner workings, like why she does the things she does, why the child soldier, I forgot his name, like John or Jake or some shit. I don't know. It's cool. It's a good show. Watch that show. It's maybe like there's 2 seasons. I think one season is 12 or 24 episodes. I know it's super helpful, right? But recommend that show. Jormungand, Jormungand. Great show, absolutely good show. Recommend it. I'd give that show maybe like also like 8.5. Really good show. The aesthetics of it really cool as well. Also, the main character is a little black boy with like blonde hair, so that's already pretty brolic. Okay, almost at the end. So my freaking camera keeps going off. The next show I want to recommend is Kokkoku. Yeah, Kokkoku. So this show is like, it's a good show. Like it's the least impressive show of the list I've just given you guys, but not to say that it's a bad show. It's just sort of like kind of like it's a good show. It's like sort of like a, you want to watch a show like you're in transition between finding another new show, and this show is gonna hold you over. It's a good show. Most importantly, it's dubbed. Remember what I said before? You need a show that you can just watch carelessly, and it's dubbed. So that's most important. But it's not a bad show. The premise of the show is essentially there's this family who, only the grandpa is aware of it, but they have this kind of like relic, I guess, that allows them to move through, to stop time and then move through that time while time is stopped for everybody else. Yeah, so that's what it is. There is this organization of people who know about this relic and who know about this power, and they want to take that relic from this family so it'll give them more power or something like that. Or I don't know, I don't really remember, because I'm pretty sure they have the same relic, but the relic that the family has is like the OG relic or something like that. But basically they try to take the relic from the family, and they sort of are kind of in this struggle in this time-stopped world. Wow, I'm already kind of like lost with the premise. It's kind of a confusing premise. Basically, like, it's a good premise. Like, I don't even know why I mentioned it in the video if I wasn't gonna take the time to actually like kind of remember what it was about. Yeah, so yeah. It's not a super dramatic, well, it's pretty dramatic actually, but it's as I said, it's a good anime. I don't know if you watch it, if you want to watch it. If what I just described to you is somewhat coherent and you want to learn more about it, it's called Kokkoku. Yeah, I give it like 7.5. It was okay. That's how you know I'm not super interested in that anime, but I think it's a good show to watch, like just to have there in the recess of your mind and like on the list. The last one I want to recommend is Made in Abyss. This show, very good show as well, also was dubbed. Premise of the show, basically there's this town, there's this city. They live on the perimeter, on the edge of this massive abyss, like on this like island, massive abyss. Like the island is mostly abyss, and then they live like around that, right? So these people, they are sort of descendants of settlers, like I guess came before them. And the goal of most people in the series, I guess, or this particular group of protagonists we have, they want to go down into the abyss and just kind of see what the fuck is up, what the inside of the abyss, because there's like treasures down there apparently. There's like relics about history, so there's a bunch of cool stuff going down in the abyss. And the protagonist's mom is also down in the abyss, so she wants to, like, you know, see her mom. She hasn't really met her, actually. So the premise of the show is basically like this girl trying to go down into the abyss. She goes for like this little robot friend, machine friend that she meets, to go find her mother. And it's kind of like their adventures in the abyss. It's a pretty short show. I believe it's one season so far, I think. It was either 12 or 20 something episodes. I don't remember. I think it was 12 episodes actually, but it could have also been 24. I think it was 12. But it's a good show. First of all, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a rating. I'll give it like a 8.6, 8.5, 8.4, actually 8.4. It's a good show. Warning. It's a little uncomfortable. The show is a little uncomfortable at times. There are choices in the art and there are choices in the direction of it that I don't necessarily agree with. I don't think it had to be that way. What I mean is that there are some shots and there is some dialogue that's inappropriate because it's regarding like little, like the main character like little kids, and it's regarding little kids. For example, the little robot machine boy, there's at least 3 references to him, like to his penis, and it's kind of the first time okay. The first time it was like ha ha ha, they're kids, ha ha ha. The second time, ew, or the second or the third time, it was like it's don't get me wrong, it doesn't ever really cross the line of being like child pornography or anything like, but it's a little uncomfortable sometimes, and I don't think it needed to be that way. Another example, there are some shots where, as I said, the main protagonist is like a little girl, like 12-year-old, like 10 or like some shit like that. And there are some shots where she's like naked because like she has to shower or bathe or whatever. Again, why those shots have to be there? Like, because think about it this way, it's like people, like men mostly, are making this show. They're drawing it, they're animating it, they're writing it. So you really have to kind of question like, what did you feel it necessary to do that? And in that way. Like, you know what I mean? As I said, it never crosses into like being super inappropriate. But for example, there's a shot, like at least 2 shots of like the little girl being like naked. Of course, you don't see the lower half, you see the top half. But like her long hair is covering like her her breast, I guess. And it's like, I don't know. It's kind of strange, like why they did that and like why. You know what I mean? Like why? Pretty violent also at some points. Like kind of like mutilation a bit, like gruesome a little bit sometimes, like towards like the later end of the show. Yeah. So apart from those questionable things that kind of make you a little uncomfortable or just made me uncomfortable, it's a good show all around. Like it's kind of like a mostly lighthearted, and then it gets like kind of dark towards the end, but mostly lighthearted show. The character is adorable. The plot, cliche, but it's a good plot. It's an interesting plot. It's also in dub. Yeah, it's a good show. So I totally recommend that show. So yeah, that's it for my list of shows that I recommend. Just to recap, let's see, we had Erased, Psycho-Pass, Promised Neverland, Attack on Titan, Jormungand, Made in Abyss, and Kokkoku. So you can call it like my shows for 2020 that I recommend. Maybe there were more shows, but these are the ones that I watched recently that stood out to me. Oh, I had to switch to my phone because my battery just died on my camera. Oh my god, it's a mess. But yeah, so those were the shows that I recommend. The ones I watched recently that mostly stuck out to me, and I think that you guys should watch regardless of whether or not you're super into anime or not. They're not like shonen animes. They're not super heavy on the fighting. They're more so plot driven, more so suspense thriller driven. So if you're into that, totally recommend that you watch it. I like this camera a lot, actually. This is my phone camera. I don't use it very often. My hair is looking fucked up. But anyway, so yeah, if you liked the video, please give me a thumbs up. Please give me a subscribe. Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments what you think of the animes I just mentioned. If you have any recommendations for me, pass them over here. I'm always open to anime recs. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Bye-bye. Have a good rest of the... Wait, I forgot one point. Have a good rest of your morning, your evening, your afternoon, whatever. And yeah, I hope you guys stay safe and stay happy. See you next time. Bye-bye.